What is up, guys? Welcome back to the app. Welcome back to another video, and hope you all are having a great Friday. If you're watching this today, it is the first Friday of June, so summer is here. And with that being said, we're going to talk about how you get rid of the most stubborn area of body fat. For most people, our most stubborn areas of body fat are the lower stomach. It's that area right below your belly button or around it that people tend to have a very hard time to get rid of. And there's a reason for that. That's not everybody though. I've seen people that have great abdominals and good abs, and but they hold the fat other places, then they just can't get rid of. So there's a reason for why most people can't get rid of body fat in any area if it's your trouble area. So the main reason why you have fat in that area, it could be in the lower stomach, it could be on your glutes, it could be on the back of your arms, it could be on your love handles, it could be anywhere, your obliques. So the main reason why we have those trouble areas is purely genetics, and that's also based on whether you're male or female. Um, Male and females have different fat distributions. Although I have seen some females that have male pattern fat distribution, and I've seen a lot of males that have female fat pattern distribution. So it just really depends on your parents and what they look like and their genetics, and then your grandparents' genetics, and so it's kind of just passed down through family, but also besides genetics, the largest part, the biggest reason as to why you have those trouble areas is, in all honesty, to be just straightforward with you guys, is your lifestyle, is what you're choosing to do, and how you're choosing to live, and how you're choosing to eat and drink and exercise. Now, I know that that's not what most people want to hear, but if I chalked it up to genetics and just said, well, it's your genetics, you can't help it, it's the way it is, just get used to it. Um, you know, pat yourself on the back anyways. Then you would never believe that you could get rid of it, but you can, and people do it all the time. It's not an easy task, but you can easily, well, it's not an easy task, but the process of doing it isn't easy, but the concept is easy. So what the biggest reason why we have these pockets of fat that are very hard to get rid of, like we can lose 10 pounds. I'm sitting right now, I feel like I look all right for the summer. I'm working on getting a little bit leaner, but if I lost another 10 pounds, I would still have fat on my lower stomach and my obliques. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now, I would be lean everywhere else. My arms would be shredded, my legs would be shredded, my chest and my back, everything would be very, very lean. My upper abs would be great, but I would have a little bit of fat left, just a little layer. And people get to that point where they've came so far and they get frustrated because they can't get rid of that last bit of fat. They don't realize that they're so close. It's like they're on the doorstep of getting rid of it, but they don't want to push any further, or they just kind of lose faith that it's not going to come off, and it will. You can't spot reduced fat. We know that. The only way you can do that is through body sculpting services, fat reduction services, not liposuction, not cool sculpting. Cool sculpting is a terrible for you, but more of like cryolipolysis, cryoliposuction, that sort of thing. But that's for another topic. So through traditional methods of diet and training, which is what we're talking about, which is what we're about here with Everything Massive, is you're just basically on that doorstep of getting rid of that trouble area. And it's going to take a little bit more work, not necessarily harder work to get rid of it, but just a little bit longer. You can speed it up. You can speed up that lengthy process by working out harder, by dieting harder, by counting your macros more precisely. But in the long run, in the whole big picture of things, it might take a few more weeks. It might take another month and a half. This kind of brings me back to when I was doing bodybuilding. When I used to compete in bodybuilding shows, my abs would come in and look great, but my lower back, and I'm probably like splitting hairs here. This is so minute, but my lower back had just a layer of fat, and the rest of my body was shredded, but the lower back could have been just a little bit tighter, and that tightness came from losing very, very small bit of fat that was left. And it wouldn't come off until usually like 1 to 2 weeks before my bodybuilding competition. So that's after 20 weeks of dieting, 20 weeks doing HIIT training, doing lots of cardio, just training so hard, focusing on my diet down to literally the ounce of water that I'm drinking. And after 18 and a half weeks, we're 10 days out from like D-Day, from the day that my competition is, and it finally started to come off. So it takes time, guys. Now that's talking to the extreme. Most people are never going to go that route, go that far. So just keep in mind that if you're wanting to do this for you, getting that area off, getting that body fat off of your body can take a lot of extra work. And in a lot of scenarios, it might take you going the extreme route, getting the fat all the way off. Then when you reverse out of that extremely lean state, all you have to do is slowly add your calories back in. When you do that and you keep your workouts very, very hard and very, very focused, you keep your cardio in 100%. You don't let up on the cardio. You can actually get your calories back up to where they were before your diet. And your fat, you'll gain some fat back, but it's possible that you might not gain it back in the same area, because every time the body gets extremely lean, it changes your physique just a tad. I've noticed every time that I get lean for a bodybuilding show in the past, and then I got into the off season, I was leaner in the off season. My body fat set point was lower. Then the next year, 2 years, I would compete again, get really, really lean. Then I would get my calories back up, and I was even leaner the second time, and the third time, the fourth time. And after doing that 5 times or 6 times, however many times I competed, I'm able now to walk around year round, and I can have abs at any given point in time. Of course, I can also eat junk food and be a little bit bloated and not have abs. I can also tighten down quickly, and within a week, I can have great definition again. So it's all relative to your genetics and to your work ethic, and to just realizing that when you've lost X amount of weight and you're picking apart the tiny spots on your body that you just want to tighten up and tone, it's going to be a combination of training that area in the gym, and then in doing your cardio, and then eating right, and just staying focused, stay the course, trust the process, and that area of your body will have no it'll have no option but to tighten up, because your body is burning off the fat, and after it's burned off fat everywhere else, it's got to start targeting the last place, which is the trouble area. That's the reason the trouble area is the hardest to get off. Genetically, your body does not want to get rid of it. It's comfortable for your body to drop fat there, to deposit fat there. So it starts to attack that area, and so you start to burn that area off after you've kind of got rid of the rest of your fat reserves. One of the biggest downfalls that I see with people that want to get rid of their trouble areas and tighten up is the introduction of alcohol into the diet. Now, I don't drink personally, but I see it when people work so hard. They've managed to lose maybe 20 or 30 pounds by adding in some drinks during the week. And if that's what they've been able to do to get those results, and their body was functioning fine with that, that's great. But it really comes down to what you want most. Okay, do you want to lose that last bit of fat and accomplish something you always wanted to accomplish, or can you not let that go because you get the bottles to worth it means too much to you, And I don't mean that to be rude, but that's just the truth. I mean, if you have to drink, realize you're not going to lose that bit of body fat, because even though those 0-calorie liquors don't have calories they have to put on the label, they still have calories. They still have 7 calories per serving. They have 7 calories per ounce. So you're still drinking tons of calories. And the worst thing about it is that you don't typically count those calories, because the body cannot metabolize those calories. So they just kind of gunk up your system, fill up your cells, and then therefore the nutrients can't get into your body correctly to then feed your muscles, to then stimulate the metabolism, to then burn off the rest of the body fat. So it's a give or take. You're gonna have to realize that in certain circumstances you might have to adjust and tweak and make some very small sacrifices towards the end if you really want to accomplish that goal. So, anyways, guys, that's why we have the stubborn areas of body fat, and that's how you can get rid of them. Stay the course, trust the process, and look at areas in your life where you can tighten up your diet, refine your schedule, and be more disciplined, and the areas will tighten up, and those trouble areas will no longer become trouble areas if you follow those steps. Guys, I hope you're doing well. As I always request, please send this video, share the app to a friend or family member or office coworker at your work. We are just on a mission to get out to the world. We want to get out to as many people as possible. We want to help as many people as possible reach their goals, just like I know you're reaching yours. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy this first weekend of summer, and we'll see you next time.